What's up, mortals? It's Dante from the anime Underworld, and today we are going into chapter 225. Not what was meant to be pretty early. There's a holiday going on in Japan, so we got this chapter pretty early. While Meliodas is dealing with Cath, we see the other members of the Seven Deadly Sins face off against the four evils, and it's going pretty badly for the bad guys. After all the hype we got from Anifwin, this is honestly pretty sad to see. I mean, Ironside and Bellatrip are being defeated by freaking King. Pelgard is taking a beating against Diane with her giant hammer, and then you have Warlandane, who probably can't even think straight with Gowther messing with her mind. This is pretty sad. I wanted to see the four knights against the Seven Deadly Sins, but as it is now, I guess there's no more use for them. But what's going on between Meliodas and Cath? Well, let's get into it. We begin this chapter with Cath still pinned to the ground by Bond as Meliodas is surprised that it really is Cath, and he's super glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm still shocked that Meliodas is glad to see one of his former enemies like this. Even Cath is confused, asking, you are? With the same expression I'm sure many fans have had. As if that's not confusing or humiliating enough, Cath is picked up by Meliodas like a scruffed little feline, and considering how tall Arthur is compared to Meliodas, that just speaks volumes. While the King of Leonis says, "Here, let's get you up." And Cath is still very confused and probably a little scared. Meliodas soon begins to explain himself, why he's so glad that this was Cath and not the Arthur Pendragon that he knew. He says, "I had the vague impression that you weren't the Arthur we knew, just in terms of, losing your original mind and becoming a whole different person. I'd hate to tell you this, Meliodas, but we as fans knew for a long time. The dumbfounded usurper of chaos has no idea what's going on right now," while Meliodas places a hand on his shoulder. "You know what I mean? What's going on here? I don't like it." But Bond's grin says otherwise, because he knows what Meliodas is probably thinking right now. The demon King of Leonis gives a warm, heartful smile to Cath. "But it was you, Cath." Boy, what a relief that is. Cath thinks he's in the clear, that maybe he could get away with this. But no, the living embodiment of malice turns towards the gigantic hole in his torso. Not just the eyes on his head, but the eyes on his arm. All shocked to see that Cath has now officially joined the Donut Club. "We have a lot of members, Cath, and now we are glad that you have become a fellow donut."
Donut.
With this revelation, there's nothing holding Meliodas back. His demon mark has returned, and his fists are coated in dark demonic fire as he tells his enemy, "Now I can bury your sorry hide without even holding back at all." As if punching a gigantic hole through Cath's torso was proof enough that he wasn't holding back, with God Ripper, Meliodas slices his opponent into literal pieces. He shredded the usurper of chaos like a freaking blender, all while saying, "Now you'll know the pain of all the people you trampled over, you fiend."
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Despite being torn into literal bits and with no vocal cords, Cath says, "Not holding back, huh?" Cath begins to literally pull himself together and begins to take on a new form before Bond and Meliodas. Cath, the reverse furry, now transforms into this ginormous feline creature with 6 arms, a messed up tail, and a very freakish right arm as he looks down on the small King of Leonis and the tall human of Benwick, saying, "I will do just the same." Now that Meliodas knows that this isn't Arthur, Cath is ready to go full out. Outside the walls of Leonis, the people of Camelot realize that their leader was a monstrous, lying beast who abused their trust and their faith. They can't believe that they put everything that they held dear because of some faker this whole time. I don't know, man, that sounds like a normal politician to me. While Deanne is shocked that the old furball is back in action, King notices something else. 4 gelatinous, chaotic blobs, the power that Cath had bestowed upon them, are leaving their bodies. The parasites leave the host and merge together as one, bypassing the Fairy King and the Giant Queen, and are summoned to Cath's side once more. Cath, in all of his gross, chaotic glory, stands before all of Britannia in his true form, now with the staff of divine manifestation at his side, proudly proclaiming, "Do not belittle my power." You had to say that phrase, didn't you?
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power!
With a single gesture, Cath uses his power, Surge of Chaos. Encircling all of Leonis is a gigantic tidal wave of chaotic abominations. I mean, just look at these things. All of these look like they came from some sort of Lovecraftian horror fest or just something. These designs are freaky, man. The Holy Knights of Leonis and the citizens of Camelot are freaking out. They're surrounded by an entire army of gigantic monsters. There's nowhere left to run. Even Gila, who has the power of the demon clan in her veins, is surprised that that demon cat summoned them all. And this is bad. There's too many of them to tackle. Even Anne is freaking out at the sight of this unholy abomination, comparing what she sees to a gigantic tsunami. But the fairy princess Nasienne stands her ground and summons the power of the sacred tree to her side. With her relic, she attacks with Spirit Spear Chastaful, second form, Spirit Spear. Nasienne finally has a chance to shine. Or at least she would have if this gigantic toad didn't have the body of rubber and... oh my god, look at its eyes. Its eyes are just faces. Again, these chaotic designs by Nakaba freak me out. But the giant toad is not happy that it got poked at and bitch slaps Nasienne in the face, shoving her into Anne as they're about to be crushed like bugs beneath this giant frog. But before any of that could happen, the toad is killed off with a gigantic earthen blade piercing through its skull. Ground Gladius. This attack was thanks to Deanne, who frantically waves her hammer Gideon, asking if they're all alright. Anne says Lady Deanne, but Nasienne calls her mom. Aw, that's sweet. The Chaos Toad might be out of the game, but 2 other monsters rush in to take its place. Or at least they would have, as they got stopped in their tracks with Fight Fire with Fire, standing defeated and filled with holes like Swiss cheese. And all that firepower? It was of course because of the Fairy King himself, Harlequin, who decided to be actually useful for once. In her injured state, Nasienne, through telepathy, talks to her father, saying, "Dad, please, you need to help the others." And King hears it. He now knows that Nasienne can do telepathy. Hey, a new fairy power. And this gets him blushing and transforms into Fat King. Oh no. As he exclaims in his fat form, "Leave this to good old Dad. Spirit Spear Chastaful, 4th form, Sun." After what happened the last time Nasienne visited her dad, yeah, King really is trying to earn some good dad points. He's gonna have to earn that as soon as possible because all the civilians of Camelot are being held hostage by these abominations. While the Usurper of Chaos taunts, damn it, they're capturing all of those people. The fake King of Chaos looks down to Meliodas, taunting him. It's over now. Or do you have the guts to kill your kin along with me? That's a fair question to ask for someone who is not holding back. Meliodas might not have the guts, but someone sure does as they hop off Cath's head. It is, of course, Bond with his sacred treasure using its unique ability, Super Concentration. And in the blink of an eye, Bond goes hog wild with Assault Hunt. All of the monsters, all of the freaks that we've seen encircling Leonis completely destroyed in one fell swoop. All of the power and might that Cath had shown meant nothing. But Cath is not having this anymore. He grabs Bon out of the air and throws him into the ground, then tries to stomp him to death like an insect, yelling, "Die, die, die." Cath is just one hell of a sore loser, and Cath is shocked to see that Bon is not giving up. The Human King breaks his staff and probably a lot of bones in his hands and slashes at the cat's eyes, hoping to blind him. But the power of chaos works a lot better than a normal band-aid, with his eyes healing almost instantly. And Bon jokes, saying chaos-driven healing kind of thing. Are you sure you are, monster? But in the eyes of Cath, only Bon appeared as the true monster. And so we end chapter 225 as we begin, with Bon just curb stomping the little feline back into the ground. After all the showboating, after all the displays of power and grandeur, Cath might proclaim that he is the king of chaos, but we all know that this was all just for show. Cath has had it with the human disguise and decides to go all out as the king of chaos. At least in name alone. But what secrets and tricks does this fake king of chaos have in store? We'll have to wait and see in chapter 226. If you love 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Nights of the Apocalypse material, like this video, subscribe, leave a comment down below what you thought about the chapter, and we'll be out with more content very soon. This has been Dante from the anime Underworld, and I'll see you mortals later.